Hi everyone, it's Cindy. Welcome back to Studioloo. This is the beginning of 9 VHS journals that I'm going to be releasing. I'm going to do a short, not too chatty video for each one of them. The themes in all of these books, it's going to basically be a couple of things. So number one is kind of the birth of film and television and cinema, and the other is pop culture. So you'll see things from like silent film and history to, pop culture things like RoboCop or E.T., Ghostbusters, what have you. So I'm just going to get started, and we will start with Viso Protek, the first of these journals that I'm filming. So here we start with a scene from Batman. Inside we have a tag from RoboCop, and then this beautiful starlet. I will apologize for now if I don't know the names of all of the actors and actresses that are here. I definitely pulled from a lot of very old film books and things like that, so I'm bound to forget many of their names. This was a fun way to start the book. This was one book that I used called the TV book, the Ultimate Television Book. And I just thought it was kind of cool. So here we have Michael J. Fox here. This is from the Back to the Future film, little pocket. And then this is another, one of the silent film sort of actresses. And I also used some little quotes and things. So this one's from Rambo. Back there, I could fly a gunship. I could drive a tank. I was in charge of $1 million equipment. Back here, I can't even hold a job washing cars. So lots of pop culture. This is a little film strip pocket with a little TV, an antique kind of TV journal card inside. Some places are like people. Some shine and some don't. Another thing you'll see throughout this book are these pages, which are actually from a film reviewer's journal. So they have things on them like title, country, year, title in original language, genre, director, awards, starring, quotes, when, where, with, opinion, notes. And so, yeah, you could use this book for writing about films that you like if you're a film lover, or a film lover, or a TV lover for that matter. Then there's some green ledger paper, and I've stitched on some paper ruffles onto this book. This one has the, what are they called? The Little Rascals there. Coffee guide paper. Here's Laverne and Shirley on some music tablature. Another of those movie reviewer journal pages, some children's line paper, and I've stitched some actual VHS cassette tape down the side from inside the cassette. Another of the film review, film journal pages. It has a little sticker from it came with all these little stickers, so I've used them throughout. Another ledger paper. And then we have this scene from The Shining, very epic. More of The Shining. More of The Shining. Some writing about Stanley Kubrick. And then the motel there. And yes, I am aware of some of the abuse that went on that film, and I do not stand by it at all, but I still definitely do respect the incredible work of Shelley Duvall and Jack Nicholson in that film. Stanley Kubrick's a little bit of a problematic character these days now that we know a little more about him, but it's still a film that I think all of their hard work and their incredible work shouldn't be forgotten. Some more silent film and early TV actresses and actors. Another of the film journal pages, and this one I put some stickers down here, love this, hate this, and little speech bubbles. Those are all from the book itself. A little break there. I had forgotten I put this book on top for a reason, because it had this page that I needed to reinforce. So I've just reinforced it here. This is actually an old film text washi tape that I've used throughout these books, and yeah, I just wanted to reinforce this page. And then over here we have a little more of the VHS cassette tape. And then another of the film journal pages. They have letters on the side, so this one has a T. More of the music tablature. We wanted to create a fantasy world that was entirely new to the audience. Excuse me, I have to go. Somewhere there's a crime happening. So that's from Batman. More of the film journal book and some of the little happy face and sad face stickers. and then a little label from a VHS cassette tape. And then this is some film strip vellum. 49 and Market makes these, and they're just really nice, and I love the yellowy shade of it. And then in here we have this. It's like a little fold-out kind of journal card. These are some scenes from early television shows. And we have Richard Gere from Pretty Woman here. And then we have an early filmmaking image of one of the first women film directors, and I can't recall her name. And that's another page from the television show. So it's like this arm coming and cranking. Remember those little crank TVs? And inside the center of all of these journals, I've added one of these large journal cards because I thought they'd be a good bookmark for wherever you are. But they're from a book that's based on the TV series Blockbuster. So you would like have to crack these kind of almost like a crossword puzzle, like a code, and it would start with a C and you'd have to like, you know, fill in whatever it was. This is a belly band made with this kind of sort of mime type character. And then inside we have this beautiful starlet, and then the Revolutionary Machine. So this particular book was like broken into different chapters, like the Revolutionary Machine, the Entertainment Machine, the Controversial Machine, and they wrote about sort of the different like things that went on in society as a result of television. And then I've ruffled some more film strip down the side here from the VHS tape. See the Creative Machine, and then paper clipped onto this jaggedy kind of line paper. We have this. This is a scene from RoboCop. That's a journal card. And that just clips on here. And then we have some Lucille Ball. So she's here with this actor and here on this little television screen. And this is a film book page, rather. And this is a little journal card cut out of this old JVC, very space age TV. And clipped onto this side of that paper, we have this Western film actor journal card and some coffee dyed paper. Some grid paper. It has some writing on it. This was from like some kind of a book that people were planning out like scenes for a play, and I don't remember. I had like all this paper that had these plays all written out on them, and like all the scenes had numbers. So I kept those behind for this book. And then here I've stitched on some more. We have Lucy and Ethel on this one, on this ruffle, and then some other actors. And it is on ledger paper. Another film journal page. Just some nice cream sort of craft paper. And another film journal page. And then we have down here we have Charlie Brown and the Peanuts Gang. And then this is from a poster of an old thriller movie called You'll Like My Mother. Run, Francesca, Run for Your Life, with Patty Duke, Richard Thomas, Rosemary Murphy, and Sean Barbara Allen. The audience shapes its television, and television shapes its audience. And another film journal page, and more of the craft paper. A shadow is a shadow and must remain a shadow. Another film journal page, another ruffle here with a sticker that says to record. On ledger paper, another film journal page. This is a little RCA T120 tape flap, and I made a little pocket out of it here, a little tuck spot, and it's on that same scene planning paper. And then I forget which, is this a Shogun movie? I can't remember which movie this one's from, but it's a cool scene from a fun movie. And more coffee dyed paper. This is a letter to Mr. Rogers. I've read this in a past video, a making video, but I'll read it for the purposes of this journal as well. So it's a fanfare from a book. Dear Mr. Rogers, hello neighbor, I want to explain why you have not found me waiting in front of the TV this week. Mr. Reitman, my boyfriend, doesn't want me to visit you anymore, but I didn't want you to think that I was sick or that I didn't like you anymore. And anyway, I remembered you talking about how sometimes friends hurt each other without thinking, and how it was important to be considerate of other people's feelings, and that's why I'm writing. It all started the day I visited you and you showed me your drain, your kitchen drain. I love visiting you because your house is like a picture. Everything is always in its place. I spend all my time picking up after Mr. Reitman, who isn't concerned with things looking pretty as a picture. I hope this doesn't embarrass you, but I also think you look as neat as your house. Before we became friends, I never knew anyone who changed from his street clothes to his comfortable clothes at home. Well, that day, after you had hung up your street jacket in your closet and taken off your street shoes and put on your comfortable sweater and sneakers, you walked into your kitchen and turned on the faucet in your sink. Of course, there was not one dirty dish. We both watched the water go down the drain. Then you turned off the tap and turned to me and said, "Isn't that wonderful? Did you ever stop to think about what a drain does? You have at least 2 drains in your house, in the kitchen and in the bathroom. Perhaps you have some more. Do you?" Then you turned on the faucet again, and we watched the water swirl, sometimes swiftly, sometimes slowly down the drain. I had never thought about the function of a drain before, not even when I was washing all of Mr. Reitman's dirty dishes. Without a drain, where would the water go? Drains are wonderful. Life is wonderful. How could anyone be bored when life is filled with the wonder of the drain? As Henrietta would say, meow meow drain, meow meow wonderful. That day, after you sang goodbye and put on your street jacket and street shoes and left your perfect house, I left the TV and went to the kitchen, where I blissfully watched the water go down the drain. For a while, my boyfriend didn't notice that something new and wonderful had entered my life, but one day he found me leaning blissfully over a clean sink. Well, as you can imagine, and no one can imagine better than you, that was the beginning of a steady deterioration of our relationship. Now there are more dirty dishes than ever. Finally, a week ago, Mr. Reitman dragged the truth out of me. But the first drain I had ever experienced was yours. I explained we were just being neighborly, but he said that if I didn't want our relationship to go down the drain, I had better stop visiting you. And that's why you haven't found me in front of the TV. Goodbye, neighbor. Platonically yours, Miss Odebashian. Miss Barbara Odebashian became a fan and neighbor of Mr. Rogers during the Watergate hearings when he and Senator Ervin became neighbors on NET. So what a fun fan letter that is, and I'm guessing that Mrs. Barbara Odebashian, probably is some kind of a known person in the world of Mr. Rogers. I'm a huge Mr. Rogers fan, so I was like, that's really great. These are some letters that I grungy made. There's a video on my channel called Mixed Media Letters. These are some of them. It says TD. This is more of that sort of jiggy-jaggy line paper, and some of the little stickers from the film journal. This is a little tuck spot on the Sony camcorder from 1980. And it's on a page from the TV book. This is a big audience journal tag. And then on this side, we have this little scene here. Hopefully you can see these ladies in this carriage. This is from an old film. And then this is a little Sherlock Holmes journal card that has the further adventures of Sherlock Holmes, and it's got the lines for Holmes and Watson at the bottom. And then we have here Mr. Rogers at the back and a little sticker that says, "What if?" And then we have the always lovely Sophia Loren, and she's a journal card here at the back of this book. And then we're at the end. And I have all this fun writing from this VHS sleeve. So that is the first of 9 journals I will be doing these little videos for. I considered doing just kind of silent videos for them because there are so many, but then I realized there's things inside that I want to talk about, like that Mr. Rogers fanfare letter. So each one is similar, but unique because what's inside them will be different things. So see you in the next one.